Are your automation tests randomly failing? You might be writing outdated JavaScript inside a modern file format without even realizing it. In exactly 6 minutes, we are going to build a bulletproof, data-driven Playwright test from scratch, one that demonstrates the technical depth required for high-level automation roles. Step 1. Open up a Playwright TypeScript project in your code editor. To build a resilient framework, we have to move past copying snippets and understand the specific purpose of every line we write. Let's start with the foundation. First, create a new file in your tests directory. We'll start by setting up a TypeScript interface. This defines the exact shape our test data should take. Think of an interface as a strict contract. If you spell a property name incorrectly, TypeScript flags it instantly before you attempt to run the code. Now let's create an array of test scenarios. Notice we are declaring this array using the const keyword. You should default to const for almost everything: URLs, locators, and page objects, so your values don't get accidentally overwritten. Reserve let strictly for active counters or status values, and never use var. It carries legacy function scoping rules that introduce unpredictable bugs into modern automation suites. Combining strict data types with immutable variables shifts bug discovery from frustrating runtime failures to instant warnings in your editor. Next, let's set up the test block. Type out the outermost framework of a standard Playwright test. Pay close attention to the curly brackets around the word page. This is object destructuring. Playwright passes a massive configuration object to every test. Destructuring allows us to safely pluck out only the page tool we need, keeping the function signature clean. Right next to that, you'll see the arrow function syntax. This equals and greater than sign is the mandatory industry standard for all callbacks in the Playwright framework. When you can articulate how this extraction works, you demonstrate a clear grasp of how the framework provides specific tools to your test scripts. Inside the test block, let's add a standard browser navigation and a click action. Every single Playwright action returns a promise. Think of a promise like ordering food at a busy restaurant. You place your order, receive a pager, and sit down to wait. If your code were entirely synchronous, you would have to stand rigidly at the counter staring at the chef, unable to do anything else until your food arrived. JavaScript is asynchronous, allowing other processes to run. To enforce a safe pause, we mark our function async and place an await keyword before the action. Forgetting await is the most common cause of flaky, unreliable tests. Handling asynchronous promises correctly ensures the script only moves forward once the application is ready for the next interaction. Now let's wrap this entire test block inside a loop, targeting the data array we built earlier. We use for each here to execute our test logic for every item in our array. This is distinct from map, which would transform the data into a completely new array. To identify each run, we use template literals. By wrapping the string in backticks and using the $ and bracket syntax, we can inject dynamic data variables directly into the test title. This dynamic looping allows a single, well-structured script to automatically validate hundreds of different scenarios in seconds. To finish the test, we need a final assertion comparing an element's text to our data array. When comparing values, always use strict equality, the triple equal sign. This checks both value and type, preventing a text string of 5 and a number 5 from being incorrectly flagged as identical. If you need to verify a nested property, use the optional chaining operator, a question mark followed by a period. This safely returns undefined instead of crashing the script if an element is missing. Locking down your logic with strict assertions guarantees that a passing grade is a trustworthy reflection of the application's state. Let's run this. Open your terminal and trigger the Playwright execution command. There are the results. Notice how the template literals generated unique titles for each scenario, all paired with passing green checkmarks. By selecting strict types, immutable variables, and safe asynchronous pauses, you have built the type of resilient code that hiring managers expect from senior contributors. Professional automation engineering focuses on creating reliable, scalable logic that protects the application, moving far beyond simple browser navigation.